Hello and welcome to Finextra TV. We're here at MPE 2022 in Berlin. With me now in the MasterCard Press Lounge is Wojtek, proprietor, CEO and founder of WATCHMEN. So, hello Wojtek, thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Really good to have you on. We're talking about payment implants, a massive topic at this year's event. So really looking forward to expanding on that. And you're in a great position because you're the world's first to provide payment implants and a full wallet solution to follow. So bring us up to date with where we are with payment implants and how is this even possible?
So as you mentioned, yeah, that's true. WATCHMEN is the first and still the only company that does those sort of things, which is implantable payment instruments. And we are at the very, very early stage, of course, in this market. We just have a few hundred customers around the world. So it's definitely even a pilot project, like a prototype that we are now offering to our ambassadors, because that's how we called our customers. And it's pretty simple, because let's think of the implant like a mini payment card that you can use wherever you are, whenever the contactless payments are accepted. Just tap your hand to the NFC reader and the payment is done. So as simple as it is with the card.
All right, well, thank you very much for bringing us up to date then. So tell us, what are some of the advantages then of payment implants compared to the more well-established instruments?
So even though the main advantage of the payment implant is the fact that it's amazing in terms of having it, in terms of using it, and it gives you the sensation that you are, let's say, a better version of a human. But on the other hand, we need to capitalize on the fact that WATCHMEN implants are both ultimately secure and ultimately convenient. Because when it comes to biometrics, you cannot forget your hand from home or from office, and you always have it. So you can always use, for example, your fingerprint to authenticate a transaction. But on the other hand, once your fingerprint gets stolen, you cannot change it anyhow. In terms of the tokens, the electronic tokens, like a fob, like a card, you need to manage that. You need to carry it. You have a chance to lose it. But on the other hand, if there is any problem with that device, you can just block it or reprogram it, depending on the solution that you use. So WATCHMEN implants combine those two amazing advantages, and that's why I believe they are the way forward, and that's the future for the individual customers to use it conveniently and securely everywhere where contactless payments would be possible to authorize it and to proceed.
Fascinating. I mean, it is a really exciting future.
It certainly is.
With talking about the opportunities and the advantages, it's worth talking about maybe some of the challenges and hurdles as well. So what are some of those challenges with merging the digital and the physical identity there? What about that?
I believe, WATCHMEN is certainly a very disruptive innovation. And whenever we are looking at the product life cycle of the disruptive innovation, we are always starting with the same group of people. It's innovators and early adopters. And it's no way we can get to the mass market in the matter of a couple of years. It will take a number of years, probably like 10, 15, to normalize this solution. Because at the moment, the technology, the digital infrastructure is already there. We have no issues with that. The case is that we need to normalize the device. We need to normalize the, let's say, the approach to put a device into your body, even though it's 100% safe. It's the safety of the device is confirmed, but all the certificates, studies, research, everything that you name, like WATCHMEN wins all the discussions about the biosafety. But what matters at the moment is just the willingness from the banks, from the schemes, from every party that is involved, issuers, acquirers, every party that is involved in the whole transaction scheme. So I believe we are now facing a social acceptance kind of a challenge, and it's the only challenge that we are facing at the moment. But on the other hand, it's the hardest one to come over, because we are all humans and we are, like, by nature not super keen to introduce that disruptive changes to our lives. So I believe the way forward would be to capitalize on our ambassadors, and as long as people see that this device is used by a friend, member of a family, or a famous person, that's the way forward to bring the device to the mass market. And that's what we are working on. But I'm aware that it's a very long-term game, but on the other hand, a very fruitful long-term game.
So changing perceptions is at the top of the agenda as well then.
Yeah, of course.
So
it has always been.
Yeah, so taking all of that into account then, could you give us sort of a summary? By no means an easy question, but what do you think the future in the space holds?
I believe it's not related only to the implantable technologies, but I believe that everything, whatever we are talking about the identity, or we are talking about payments or authorization, it's becoming more and more digital. We are seeing this with the European Commission's project about digital identity. We are seeing this by multiple initiatives handled by banks, schemes, and all the other companies that are present out there. And I believe that Walmart sort of matches these trends out there. And since more and more gateways and paths are there for the Walmart to step in and to follow, such as being able to offer customers not only a payment solution in the implant, but also an option to, for example, authorize their identity when they are, for example, at the airport and they need to identify themselves to board the airplane, or to go to the local doctor and show them medical documents that they are willing to show, of course. And all of these challenges related to the cybersecurity, to the data management challenges are there to be handled by Walmart. But from a technological perspective, the technology is there. What matters is the willingness from those partners to enable us to offer those services to our customers. Because from our perspective, our device, the implant, is always seen and marketed as an enabler, as an aggregator of multiple features. But in order to be there and to offer those applications and all of these services, you need to have the connection with those partners. So it's not only a challenge towards the individual customers, but also the companies that would be willing to work with us and to put themselves on the same level as Walmart when it comes to the disruptive innovator.
Sure.
Sometimes it might be scary, but I believe, again, in the long-term game, that's something that will happen.
So partnerships are key. So I'll let you get back to the event so you can share your insights with the other delegates and sponsors. But Wojtek, thank you so much. It's
thank
a
you
really
very much for
exciting
having
space.
me. Yes, thank you very much.